Get her. Oh, jeez. Got a few questions in one of the previous videos about what was going on out here around the grain site. We changed up some cobbleations that we had at the top of the grain leg there. Made it much simpler, much more organized. So we don't have such a mixture of gates and valves and pieces going left and right and cables all twisted up, and hopefully things are a little more organized now. I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but when you look into the darkness of that shed, you can see the snowflakes coming down. Most years we actually tend to get a little bit of snow on the corn planter, so it's not that crazy that we're getting a little bit right now. It's pretty warm, the frost is all out after a rain. We're still getting ready to go. Everything's just still really cold, and the fields, you can drive on them in most areas, but they're wet. Got a couple things to finish up here on the digger, and we had it out of the shed because we had to put a truck in the shed, just because we were worried if it got too cold it might not want to start. If you look closely, right down there in the edge of the field, you'll see where the kids got their Polaris RZR stuck in the mud yesterday. That's convenient for me. Suppose it could be worse. They could have been playing video games. Dad noises. The things I do for YouTube. I left the outer wings folded up because it's a lot less work to crawl underneath to get to these tires the way it is. I should really turn the heat on in here. And Dad's back with his first load of the day. We're into that time again now where we are hauling corn to fill some contracts. Did that a lot in January and February. Now we're into new ones. First thing, check air pressures. And this one isn't gonna work at this angle. Anyone have a recommendation for the best tire pressure gauge out there? We've had 2 of them go bad on us in the last week. This angled one that I like a lot quit giving us tire pressures. This one I just don't trust. It's never lines up with the good ones. Obviously, this one here has had issues in the past. I might have to go get a different gauge from the other shed. It's like we just can't keep good gauges around. I wonder what he's doing. We haven't started that leg since we put the changes in up top, and we got to start the sweep on the bottoms of some of the bins, so go see what he's up to, see if he needs some help. Anna, you gonna load the truck? It'd be nice if you could, huh? He's fine, just checking all the bottoms of the bins to make sure everything looks good, and it does. What's up? There we go. Now we got corn flowing. Let's see if this thing lines up with the one that I think is good. I like what you've done there. Yes. It did work. Now it just maxes out and doggone it. I found another one here, so we'll make this one work until I get to town later. Got another load of rock here for behind the shed. I don't think they're in there.
Okay, is this magnet? They're probably not in there?
Probably not. I got one in here. I said I got one here.
Oh, great. Thank you. But they're small.
Main frame and first wing tires are good. Now I'm gonna grab a grease gun, throw a little bit of grease into wheel hubs. There's not a lot of grease zerks on these newer machines, which is handy. Speaking of grease guns, we bought this Lumax Grease Gun. This is the handy luber, they call it. We bought it 2 years ago, really like it, and we got a brand new one here, so I may as well put that together. Sometimes it's easier to just destroy the box. And I'll be sure to study those later, but for now I'm just gonna file them away. Oh yeah, look at that. So young and shiny compared to the old wrinkly one. Put the mag in. We're ready. Actually, I've already changed my mind. I'm gonna put one of these locking ends on it because those are awesome. And because we have a pile of them, I'm gonna put the standard short one on there. Suppose I also need grease too. All right, let's go get this thing all greasy and slimy and dirty, just like the old one. Tires and grease are finished on the main frame and the inner wings. Now we just unfold it all the way and repeat the process. Lumax actually makes a bunch of cool stuff, but if you guys want to know what we have for a grease gun, you might want one for yourself. Check out the links down below or go to their website. You can get everything off Amazon. That's going to do it for this right now. I'm going to go grab an early lunch before Jim comes out here, and then after that we are going to put that spring in that came out of the leveler and service the tractor. It's just gotten a lot windier, but at least it's not snowing anymore. False alarm. I've got a delivery. I'll have to run back for that bean salad or whatever that was. Just one small pallet of some seed corn. We got a couple different hybrids on there. A brand that we haven't tried for quite a while. And some supposedly hot new hybrids. So we'll see what they do. Always got to be testing new stuff, right? All right, back to lunch before someone else shows up. 15 minutes later, and now it's just flat out sunny. Is it going good over here?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
We're gonna take a little more out of the middle bin and get the sweep going.
Good.
I think we'll start sweeping two bins and run them both at the same time.
Okay. Because of the hauling we did this winter, we've got several bins that are right down in the bottom, so we haven't started the power sweep yet in this one, but we got a lot of bins like this. I like to keep an organized book on the large pieces of machinery such as the 9560 tractor up here, so we know how many hours we're on when we did maintenance to it. We know exactly when the last time was we changed the oil or serviced everything with it. So I'm going to check and see how many engine hours it's got on it now and see how many we put on since last time. 2,278. So it's got 73 hours on it since we changed it before fall. So that tractor did 73 hours last. We had the quad track out here, I suppose.
Shooter.
Jim,
How's it going?
Good, you?
Yeah.
Good.
Damn cold weather though.
I know it. Well, it's not snowing anymore. Look at the sun shining. It's balmy out there now. We got a spring here. You know, the tractor isn't going to need much with 73 hours on it.
Probably check it.
Check all the basics. Yep. But we put new sweeps on it. It's got new sweeps. Shanks are good. Tires are set. It's been greased. This is the last thing for the actual digger. On the leveler. I don't know if a bolt broke or what, but they're both missing. If you look up in there, there's one in each one except for this one. You can see where the bolt was. Yeah, so there's, with it hanging here, there's no pressure on it at all, so all we really need is a bolt. I'm sure it's metric, huh? But it looks like about a 1/2 inch bolt. I'm gonna guess a 1/2 inch by 3?
Let's see, probably 4.
4?
4.5, 4.5.
1/2 inch by 4. Those ones I think are 3 3/4. Apparently we don't have any 4s.
This will work, I believe, Zach.
Washers? You said you need an inch shorter? Yeah. You think our tape measure's wrong?
Well, either that or this bag is marked wrong.
Is the bag wrong?
5 inch. No, 4 inch.
Yeah, that's by 4.
Well, let's get one an inch shorter because it was way up to there, the threads, so.
There's a 2 3/4. Half by 3.
Yeah.
And a cutter nut. That looks right, huh? Little?
No.
3.5? Oh, that was a lot of work. You're gonna be tuckered out after installing this, huh?
Stretching that spring, that was tough.
Yeah.
Well, you got this thing about ready to go then, huh?
Once you tighten this bolt, this thing is ready to go. Other than the tractor, which has only got 73 hours on, so check over all the basic stuff and put the computer in. Since we're all done with the tillage piece back here, I figured we'd fold up the field cultivator, swing it around out in the yard and back into that main door there. And that's for 2 reasons. Number 1, it'll be a lot closer to get to the tractor just to work on it and go through things, but also because I know I've got some seed coming later this afternoon, so we'll just get this out of the way so I got somewhere to stack some seed. What are you doing with the battery charger? Yeah, I'm guessing so. Yeah. Jim's already under the hood, so I'm gonna grab the receiver and the computer. Did you say it's low, Jim?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I'll probably put, I'll bet it's at least that. Maybe 5. Yeah. Hey, I was gonna pet you on the head. Now, which one of these is which? Not that one. Not that one. Jim, this is no time for horsing around. Horsing around? Yeah. Looks like you're treating the tractor like a jungle gym. These tanks are dang handy. Yeah, I would say it's nicer than carrying a 2.5 gallon jug back and forth. Oh, okay. Well, Jim and Dad are both leaving with a load now. That tractor's pretty close to ready to go. It's got a couple things to finish up on it. These guys are gonna take off, get a couple more loads to the ethanol plant, and I gotta bring my truck in for an alignment. It still hasn't had that done since we put that level lift on it with custom offset, so I gotta get that into the shop. Kind of a long story why that hasn't happened yet, but it hasn't, so I'm gonna go drop it off and get this thing aligned. No, this isn't the courtesy car from the local dealer. Mrs. Millennial Farmer gave me a ride down the road to the local deer dealer, and they did a checkup and service to our sprayer, so now we got this thing ready to go. But I do have to park it inside because it's gonna get down to mid-20s for lows over the next 2 or 3 nights here. Hey, Didge. All right, time to finish up the 9560. So we've got it filled with fuel. Did that the other day when I moved it around. It's been greased. Tire pressures look good. Windows have been washed. Belts and pulleys inspected. Hydraulic oil is good. Just got these things late last fall. If anybody's looking for oil storage or a depth tank on wheels with pneumatic or hydraulic pumps, I'd highly recommend Fluidol. The last thing here is to go through the tools, make sure we've got the proper tools in it in case we need to replace a sweep or a shank while we go, and make sure we have the pieces that we need that commonly break or go missing on this as well. Hammer and removal tool, standard screwdriver, knife, pliers, 11/16 to 3/4 stuff. Couple new sweeps, couple barely used sweeps. Don't need the ripper tooth in here anymore, or the big tools for the ripper, or the stuff for the deep bander spare parts. And the final piece, a bucket of bolts, castings, spring clips, nuts, washers, and a bushing. Everything we'd ever need. Only things left to do is to calibrate the receiver and the actual true set on the machine for the depth. So we'll wait. I'll do that when I pull it out of here. I know I've got some seed on its way, so I gotta make some room in the back there to unload a trailer full of that. I got Scott coming, so I'm making room.
What's that? Oh.
You're in my way.
I'm looking for the wire out for the bird. No, what?
If you want, you can pull the tractor out so I can get back there when Scott shows up.
Okay.
Heavy ones. It's got big seed this year.
Your other one would be on its nose.
Yeah, I don't know if the other one would have done that. If it would have stacked them like that.
Oh, I don't think so.
It wouldn't have liked it.
No.
The seed's all stacked. The door is closed to keep the dust and the wind out of here, and my helper showed up. All right, you want to push all that in a pile so we can bring the semi in here? Isla, you know it's 34 degrees out and windy, right? Are you a little chilly after running down here in shorts and a t-shirt? Yeah, I'm a little chilly just looking at you. If you think you're warm enough to stay in here, then I'm gonna go start a tractor and bring a tractor in here, okay? Okay. All right. Yes, I'll go on this side. You stay over there so I know where you are and I know you're safe. Okay. I was planning on bringing the 9560 in with the Mendako Storm because I gotta switch the hitch on there, put the bigger hitch on the Storm, and then mount the control box and flip a couple hydraulic hoses around, but I forgot I had this thing. This has got to go inside. We're gonna have to move the lawnmower and the basketball hoop. Try to get it packed in here tight so we can work on some of the projects while it sits in here for a few days. Hello. How many colors of those?
Yeah.
Oh, usually green and purple and yellow, but you shouldn't play with them. That brings up a good subject here. Let's show the people. So these are kernels of seed. This is corn seed that we're going to be planting. The yellow one and the purple one there are actually coated with an insecticide, so it keeps bugs away from eating them after you plant them. So it's a poison for bugs. And the yellow one was coated too, but it just looks like it kind of got rubbed off. So that is why the seed, when we load it in the planter, isn't yellow like it is when we combine it or when we load it out of the bins. Jeez, you gotta be freezing. What'd you do with that spider that you were chasing? It's over there? Did you smush him or did you leave him be?
No, I
You what?
let him be.
You let him be. Now we finally got the parts in for the red Peterbilt truck over here. Took a little while, but Allstate Peterbilt's coming out in the morning to work on that as long as they got the parts. So I'm gonna bring that in the shed so that he's got a warm place to work and clean, hopefully. You gonna stay right there on the skid loader? Okay. As I'm walking out, she looks at the truck and says, "It's just that tiny thing?" Only farm kids look at a semi-truck and call it tiny. You wanna go close the door? All right. This one, right here. There you go. Yep, push this one here now for Grandpa to let him in.
On the top.
On the top. We've got more room left in that shop than we thought we'd have, so I'm gonna put the other truck in there because that one is loaded too. Did you get a new coat?
No?
I bet that's a little warmer now, huh?
This is yours.
All right, come here, say thanks for watching. And then,
Thank you for watching.
well, I guess you did it just fine.